Okay. Oh. Pretty good. Okay. Hi everyone, my name is Christine, and this is a little bit different and more of a vulnerable video than I've ever made before. So I'm a pelvic floor physical therapist, and most of my videos are just about that. They're about pelvic floor physical therapy, educational content, all that stuff. But I turned 29 last week, and as a physical therapist, as someone that's very health conscious and aware and understands the importance of our health, I made a decision that I want to share this next journey of my life with everyone. So if you don't know, for women, once we turn 30, our muscle mass starts to decrease. It peaks in our mid to late 20s, and at 30, it starts to slowly decrease, decreasing as much as 3 to 8% per decade. Now, this is important because if we have less muscle, we are more at risk for other diseases. We're more at risk for falling, for getting hurt. I work with people every day that have difficulty just getting off of a chair or the floor, let alone being able to do the things they love. And besides the aesthetic part, this alone should be enough to make us want to exercise and want to strength train. And I know far too many women that don't strength train or don't know where to start. So I'm here to share my journey of that. I have a goal that this year, before I turn 30, so I turned 30 January 19, 2026. And I want to be the healthiest, strongest version of myself before I get to that point. I'm gonna give a little history. So I got really into fitness when I was 16. In high school, these girls threatened to beat me up, and my dad was like, okay, this is like not cool. Let's put you in boxing classes. And I did that for 10 years, and I absolutely loved it. I did boxing, kickboxing, and it was where I fell in love with exercise. It's actually part of the reason I became a physical therapist, but that's a different story. But that gave me so much confidence. It completely changed me as a person. So since then, I've been really into exercising. That launched me into getting a gym membership and learning about weightlifting and strength training and all these things. In 2021, I was in the best shape of my life. I was exercising twice a day, weightlifting for an hour, and then doing this high intensity cardio for an hour, which was really, really intense and probably not sustainable. But I didn't have anything else to do, and it was still during the pandemic, so nobody was really going out. All I did was work out, go to school, study, and that's it. And I was in amazing shape. I was so confident and comfortable in my skin. I've always had body image issues. So I've always felt like, oh, my arms are too fat, or my stomach, or my legs, or whatever. And that was a weight where I felt super comfortable and confident. Then, it was end of 2021, beginning of 2022, things really started to change for me. I had moved back home to my parents' house. So prior to that, I was living alone because I was in grad school. I met my now husband, so my time has changed, right? You're not as free when you're in a relationship. So my weekends, instead of spending them at the gym for 2 hours, I'm going out with the person I love. I was also studying for my boards. I was graduating. I moved from living alone to now living with my family again, which I hadn't lived with them in 2-3 years. And so there were a lot of changes in my life. I was studying for my boards, trying to get a job. I had recently got engaged. So there was so much happening between that 2022 to 2023 period. Then when I got engaged August 2022. I was like, I need to fix this. I gained 30 pounds from 2021 to 2022, and it was really, really uncomfortable in my own skin. So much so that I didn't like my engagement pictures from my proposal because I felt so big. And that was a huge wake-up call for me because I didn't realize how much weight I had gained, and not just weight, but body fat percentage. So I restarted at the gym. I was a little bit more dedicated, but it was still difficult because then I was working for the first time ever. I was planning a wedding. I was moving from my parents' house to my husband's house, and there were all these big changes. I felt like I never had a moment to just be. So then I lost 20 pounds from the original 30 I had gained. and I felt good. I had my wedding. I felt really beautiful at my wedding, looked good. I think I looked amazing. Then I got married. This 2024 was our first year married because we got married November 2023. And now I am 15 pounds more than my comfort weight. So I have this big goal of losing those 15 pounds before I hit 30, but bigger than that, I wanna be strong again. In 2021, I was so strong. I was deadlifting and squatting and bench pressing heavier than I ever thought I physically could do. And that felt so great. And I wanna go back to that and even better. That way I'm building as much muscle mass as possible before I hit 30 and just keep it and sustain it throughout my 30s and the rest of my life, hopefully. This is really important to me because 30 is also the decade where I wanna have kids. And as a pelvic floor physical therapist, I see it all the time. The women who are stronger and healthier have a much easier time during their pregnancy and their recovery. So I have a plan and I want to share it with everyone, and I would hope that other women in their 20s and 30s and beyond join me so we could become strong and healthy and improve our bone density and our muscle mass and all that good stuff, and also feel and look the best that we can. So I am being very particular and very intentional with my strength training, my cardio, and my food. I'm working out right now, and I have been for the last year, but I'm just not tracking it. I have a plan of what I'm doing every day at the gym, but I don't track how much weight I lifted, how many sets, or how many reps I did. That's good for day-to-day movement and getting that in, but it is not good for building strength. There is a concept known as progressive overload, and progressive overload is what really helps you get stronger and build muscle and all that. So knowing this, what I'm doing is I have my workouts planned out and I'm tracking on my notes app. Today I did 3 sets of 8 and it was 100 pounds. And I'm doing that for every week to see if I can slowly add more weight, add more reps, add more sets, whatever it is. Knowing that it takes 6 to 8 weeks to build strength, so I probably won't be changing all that much week to week, but in a 6-week span, I should be increasing my weight a little bit, or I should be increasing my reps or my sets or something so that I can be loading myself properly. The second thing I'm gonna do is food. So for me, this is the absolute hardest. I can eat really healthy during the week, or at least breakfast and lunch, and then dinner comes around and someone wants to go out and it's the weekend or whatever it is and friends want to go out, and that becomes so hard for me. So I'm still brainstorming good ways to do this, and I would love if other people had advice. Leave a comment and let me know. But my plan is to make sure I'm getting enough protein. So I know that my breakfast is really high in protein. I have eggs and cottage cheese and all that good stuff. And my lunch has high protein in it. And I'll have snacks like yogurt with fruit and honey, which I actually really like. It's just the quantity. So making sure I'm tracking it so that I am in a slight calorie deficit so I can actually lose some body fat. That's my goal. So I'll be checking in weekly to let you all know how I'm doing. And if you're doing this with me, please let me know how you're doing and we can kind of encourage each other. So this is week 1 and I'll insert a little clip of how my physique is week 1. I don't know if I want to do that. I don't think I will, honestly, but I will take a progress picture so that I know what I look like today, and in 6 weeks compare it, see if anything has changed. In 6 weeks do a check-in, see am I lifting more, what's my weight like, all these things, and go from there.